what's your thoughts for people, for the viewers that are watching, going, okay, I want a place that's going to be comfortable. Hey, if I can get a gym and a pool attached and it's still really low as far as per month, what's available to them, Simon?
We're we start at what about 140 US dollars a month, I would say is the minimum we kind of target. That's a
Okay.
30 square meter, very comfortable studio apartment, bathrooms. It's all fully furnished, so no one has to buy anything really to move in. It's ready to move in. But for that level, you're not getting the pool and the gym.
Okay.
Okay. The kind of level where the pool, the gym, and that next level up in space, or possibly a one bedroom, is around about the 250 to 300 US dollars a month, depending on the location, how close you are to town.
Okay, so today we are heading over to Chiang Mai, Thailand with my new friend Simon Bradshaw. Simon, how are you?
I'm doing well today. Thank you very much for getting in touch. Great
Yeah,
to meet you.
man. Simon, thanks for doing this. So Simon has been living in, how many years have you been in Chiang Mai?
Been 22 years in Chiang Mai around about now.
Okay, so and you have a company and a YouTube channel that I discovered and love. You have the YouTube channel is Perfect Homes Chiang Mai, and Simon shares a variety of affordable condos and apartments in and around Chiang Mai, and it's unbelievable the prices. But he has a company called Perfect Homes. Tell us a little bit about your backstory, Simon, about where you're from and how you landed in Thailand and Chiang Mai.
Okay, well the story is I'm from England, and I basically kind of had enough. So I'd been backpacking once or twice before, and this time I packed my bags and I headed over to Asia. And my plan was to travel all over Thailand, all over Asia, Laos, Cambodia, and get up into China, and then head off to South America. Um, I did get into Laos, Cambodia, China, and then I got stuck um, in a good way. I headed back to Chiang Mai. I met up with a friend of mine from travels before, and suddenly, I started a little bit of a work in Chiang Mai, a little bit of time here, and all of a sudden, 22 years have passed. I still have the backpack upstairs, but I don't think I'll be using it for any long journeys anytime soon. I'm pretty well established here now. Just a quick one. I've been married at 18 years to a lovely wife, and I have a daughter of 16 years old who's amazing. So I'm pretty got, like I said, I'd have to dust that backpack off and just for the holidays nowadays. But
Yeah.
being here that long and still loving Chiang Mai.
Yeah, that's awesome, Simon. So, and you started Perfect Homes how long ago?
Around about 12, 13 years ago, me and my wife started out of necessity, I will add, and that was the
Sure.
daughter was the necessity.
But you're
So we
helping people identify and locate affordable housing, correct?
yes, we specialize. Core business originally was designed around rentals. Okay, obviously, and originally targeted the foreign market from Westerners to the Asian clients here in Chiang Mai,
Mhm.
and when we started out, we were definitely targeting, should we call it, I call it the budget end of the accommodation market. It has
Mhm.
grown. We do have properties to suit all budgets, but a big market here is obviously the budget market, affordable accommodation, because Chiang Mai is so affordable.
And when people think of Thailand, the first thing they think of probably is Bangkok. And
Yeah.
then the next thing they think of is Phuket. A lot of people know Phuket, famous island, beautiful, gorgeous. A lot of people don't know Chiang Mai. What is the difference in Chiang Mai and why does that stand out compared to the other places in Thailand?
We call Chiang Mai the most livable city in Thailand. Okay. If you want to go to the beach, Phuket, there's hundreds of beaches all down south in Thailand. We're hidden away in the north. Okay,
Mhm.
quite well hidden. If you come up as a tourist, the average tourist length is 3 or 4 days in Chiang Mai. And if friends turn up, they go, "What do you do here?" I don't really know. I just live here. And everybody I talk to, it's all about the lifestyle. We live here. It's not a party town. It's not obviously a beach town. It's somewhere where we all just seem to live. It sounds strange, but it's just livable. It's living a
Mhm.
life here. It's not a party town.
Mhm.
There's plenty of potatoes, obviously, on the list for the party towns in Thailand. This place has got everything you need. Um, and the relaxed lifestyle where we live here is what makes it so special. It's bizarre. It's hard to explain why it's so different, but so
Mhm.
attractive to so many.
So, and it's if you wanted to get to Chiang Mai, obviously you're going to fly into Bangkok. How long does it take to drive there, or do people typically fly?
People typically fly. If we're moving around or we want to head down south, we can drive. We can pack the car up and drive down because when you've got a large family, it's much cheaper just to drive.
Hmm.
The drive is around about 8 hours to Bangkok from
Oh,
here,
wow. Okay.
but the flight's 1 hour.
Okay. And how
So
much is the flight typically? What is the cost of the flight?
about $50, if that.
Hmm. Oh, wow.
Generally speaking, you can get down to Bangkok for around about $50 because it's a busy location. There's lots of flights, probably 20 flights a day. If you're going to somewhere like Phuket, they do put the prices up on us. But flying down to Bangkok, it's very cheap, very quick. You can fly down, have lunch in Bangkok, and fly back in the evening if there's something going on. We've
Hmm.
done that quite a few times.
In Chiang Mai, it offers a variety of like cafes, restaurants, the same type of, yeah.
We are the amount of coffee shops. We are the coffee capital of Thailand, I
Oh,
reckon.
wow.
Um, I spend many of my days editing videos or working and clearing emails in coffee shops. The coffee shops, there's great coffee here. The coffee shops are everywhere and they're very welcoming.
Hmm.
You can sit down for a couple of hours, be polite, buy a couple of coffees. Um, but you're more than welcome. And the quality of coffee, we are blessed up here. It's another great thing.
Hmm.
The coffees are great. Probably around about you can get a coffee for 50 cents, but
Hmm.
generally I would say the better quality coffees around about $2 a cup. Um,
Okay.
so when I'm working away, I might go for a few in a day. Um, and it's strong, good quality coffee. Keeps
Yeah.
me going, sure.
That's great. So one of the criticisms I hear the most about Southeast Asia, not just specifically Thailand, is heat, the weather. So is it now Chiang Mai is a little bit north and it's an 8 hour drive north from Bangkok. Is it cooler? What's the climate year around there?
We are the cooler location. We're the less humid location. We're the probably the only place in Thailand where they come up to the mountains near us to look at frost.
Mm,
Frost up here is a tourist attraction.
wow.
Okay. Thais travel around from all over Thailand to come here and stare at frost. If you come from England, you don't want to see frost ever again. But we are a cooler location. We have amazing weather. We do have a rainy season and we do have a cool season. Most of Thailand doesn't even have a cool season. We
Hmm.
get to winter, and we're putting jumpers on and jackets on to ride our motorbikes around or whatever. So we are the cooler location. Hot season, it's hot.
Yeah.
There's no denying it. Okay. But it's not humid. So,
Hmm.
you don't go sunbathing. We certainly don't go sunbathing here. But if you're out sitting in the sun, you're going to cook, you're going to be sunburnt in 10 minutes. But if once you're under the shade with a fan on, you just get on. And the
Hmm.
longer you stay here, the more used to the heat you get, the more acclimatized you get to it. So that's
Hmm.
another situation when we go somewhere cool, we're not used to it. I find
Hmm.
cold countries now very uncomfortable. I'd settle for the heat any day.
The last before we get into some of the details about living there is so as Chiang Mai becomes more popular, is it still affordable for retirees and expats? So my question, if if somebody were on a budget, right, and they got a small pension, they're looking for a place to stretch that income, You're going to pay rent, you're going to pay utilities, groceries, transportation, entertainment. What is required, in your opinion, today to get by on in Chiang Mai?
I would say you're around about $1,000 a month will get you a very comfortable life. It's not an
Okay.
extravagant life. You're not talking about partying every night or fancy meals or fancy accommodation. But let's put it this way, it's a comfortable life. A
Okay.
teacher here earns half of that and seems to manage to have a very good life and feed her two children.
Wow.
So so you've got to put it in comparison. You
Hmm.
know, the quality of living on that kind of budget is still very achievable. Have a great life for that kind of money. Obviously, everybody's budget is dependent on lifestyle and
Sure.
how they spend their money, but you can certainly afford to have on $1,000 a month. You can certainly have a comfortable lifestyle here in Chiang Mai.
All right. Well, thanks for that, Simon. So let's dive into, tell us a little bit about like what you know about visa requirements. Typically, most people want to understand countries. I know Thailand has a minimum income requirement to live there. What are those for pensioners and for people that want to move or live or retire in Thailand?
Okay, the general, should we say, the general retirement visa rules is around about I think it's around about $1,400 a US dollars a month at the current exchange rate.
Okay.
Or I think we just thought about 800,000, which is about 22,000 US dollars in the bank. Okay, you
Okay.
can put it in a bank. You can split that between a couple. Okay, so if you're a couple, it can be 400,000 and 400,000. One of them goes to dependence visa, but that's the kind of levels. But once if it's money in the bank, once it's in the bank, you can renew as many times as you like. That's
Okay.
it. They are very welcoming as long as you can hit those requirements.
What's your thoughts? Okay, so you gotta deposit. You said what, 22,000 or 24,000?
Yes, around about, let's say 24 to be safe, but 22 to
Okay.
24.
If I want
Yeah.
to become a resident of Thailand and live there, so I have to deposit a lump sum of 24,000 into a Thai bank.
Yes.
Okay. So once you do that, is it, what's your thoughts on is it safe? There's people in the US, there's people in the UK, there's people in Canada that are going, oh, that sounds great, but I know nothing about Thai banks. If I deposit and wire money over and drop it into a Thai bank, is it safe? What's your thoughts on that?
100% safe. As
Okay.
safe as any bank anywhere in the world. We're not a third world country, generally speaking. The banking system's based around the US banking system. The security and everything like that is brilliant. Okay.
Mhm.
I have no thoughts on the banking. And the beauty of here, if you go to a banking, you can go to the bank, you can actually meet up your bank manager. In the UK now, meeting a bank manager or finding anyone to talk to is near on impossible.
Yeah.
But the main point is banking here is the same as anywhere in the world. You have no fears about your funds here.
Okay. So when you put 24,000 in, let's say, do you have to maintain 24,000 or can you start withdrawing and using that money to live on?
Your 24,000 can be used during that term, but 3 months before you want to reapply for your visa, it needs to be back in.
Okay.
Okay. I believe it's a minimum of 3 months. Okay. Double check with a visa specialist for everything on this. But 3 months prior to renewing the visa, the funds have to be back in that account.
So you need to maintain that threshold. How long before they no longer look at that amount of money in the bank where you can just live
Uh,
there?
they always every renewal you need to provide the bank statement. So it has to
Okay.
stay again 3 months prior. Okay. So, but that is your only requirement. So
Okay.
after that, how much you spend, they don't look at, they don't worry. As long as you don't go below that number by the time you're applying for your visa, 3 months out.
Okay. And so there's no permanent residency that once you achieve permanent residency that they don't look at that anymore. It's just like they're always going to look at that.
It's very hard to get residency in Thailand. I'm 22 years here, and I'm actually applying slowly for my Thai passport. But I'm 22 years here,
Gotcha.
and it's still a lot of hoops for me to jump through. Even though I've been married for 16 years, I should get it, but it's just going through the processes, and it's not laid out to make it easy. Most people do not even attempt to get residency.
Okay. All right. So, and then I guess the other alternative, which is a really great alternative too, is if people don't have that lump sum, they need to show that they're making approximately 1,400 per month with their
Yes,
pension.
that's it. Okay, so they have to show that there's a letter required from the American embassy or the embassy of your home country stating the funds, and that's what you got to provide on the time of applying for the visa, and the same the following year. Every year you have to get that document.
Today, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Traveling Mailbox. Are you ready to move abroad? Keep a real U.S. address without the hassle? With Traveling Mailbox, you can set up a virtual address that works just like a physical one. No more relying on friends or family to send your mail weeks later. Get your mail scanned instantly, manage it online, and forward it anywhere in the world. Enjoy total freedom and stay connected to the U.S. with Traveling Mailbox where you are. To sign up, click the link in the description, or you can scan the QR code above on the screen. All right, cool. Well, let's jump into your expertise. So let's dive into rentals. You specialize in rentals. Do you sell as well?
Yes,
People,
we do.
you do. Okay.
Yes.
I'm interested also in learning what are some of the costs of condos around there that you show to people. But let's dive in at first. What can people get rentals for? Share. I mean, and we're going to point people to your YouTube channel because it's really fascinating with some of these rentals. They're just gorgeous rentals that Simon shows. Some of these locations have pools and amenities included, and it's just incredibly affordable. But what's your thoughts for people, for the viewers that are watching, going, okay, I want a place that's going to be comfortable. Hey, if I can get a gym and a pool attached, and it's still really low as far as per month, what's available to them, Simon?
We're we start at what about 140 US dollars a month, I would say is the minimum we kind of target. That's a
Okay.
30 square meter, very comfortable studio apartment, bathrooms. It's all fully furnished, so no one has to buy anything really to move in. It's ready to move in. But for that level, you're not getting the pool and the gym.
Okay.
Okay. The kind of level where the pool, the gym, and that next level up in space, or possibly a one bedroom, is around about the 250 to 300 US dollars a month, depending on the location, how close you are to town. So that's about 9,000 baht, if I got my maths right. So about just under. And for that, again, you've got access to a building pool, possibly a gym. That kind of level gym's not a fancy one,
Yeah.
but there's often a weights machine in there and stuff like that. I always show my girls using the weights if I can, get them exercising for a bit of fun. And obviously the pool size and everything like that depends again on the building.
Yeah.
Some buildings, the newer the building, kind of the smaller the pool, the smaller the gym. With some of the exceptions of like D condo, where you're getting as little as 750 US, 250 US a month. And you've got a huge pool and a quality gym, but you've just gone back down in the size of the unit again to about 30 square meter studios, which to a single person can suit them really well.
Sure.
And then you've got all of that common area to relaxing in the day. There's Wi-Fi available outside. Most people get high speed to their room, but you've got all of that space, and you can just walk straight out from there and go out. So you don't need to get your transport mainly from the condos. You can walk to the nearest coffee shop. There's often a social scene down at the coffee shops, the local ones, and there's often restaurants nearby or in the ground floor of the condo in certain locations. So for that kind of 250, 300 US dollars a month, you're really doing well.
Okay. So
You don't
250,
not
300
struggle.
these are within walking distance to places, so you really don't need any transportation, like ride share or any of that.
No, it's
Okay.
all available. But most people, when they come to Chiang Mai originally, they're a bit scared of the roads because it's just an unknown to them. They're actually pretty steady drivers here. It's not a crazy town, but you just want to walk out. You want to get down to the coffee shop. You want to get down to the restaurants. You want to just find your way around on your feet to begin with. So condos are the way forward. Okay.
Hmm.
Houses are not ideal. You can get great value houses, but then you're starting to need transport straight away.
Okay. So do any of these prices that you provided for the rentals include utilities, or are utilities separate?
Utilities are always separate.
Okay.
Okay. Includes the common area fee of the strata fees. So you don't pay for that. You pay for the use of the electric that you use.
Okay.
You get your own internet installed, and you pay the building for the water usage. An
Okay.
average water bill around here will be around about $8
Okay.
water bill.
Yeah.
If you're just running a fridge and you're brave enough to leave the aircon off during the hot season, your electric bills can be as low as $10. Okay. But once you put the aircon on, you're
Right.
jumping up. Okay. And a lot of people use their aircon.
Sure.
Okay. High speed internet, $20 a month.
How about
Um,
like most people coming from, the Canada, US, UK, they're gonna keep their air on. So what would be a typical monthly rate for electricity running the air,
But
would you say?
again, if you're once again, government rate is like 4.5, £5 a unit. You'll hear me talk about that in the videos just to confirm, because people are always worried about apartments jacking up the rental rates. Condos don't generally do that, but you can go up to, from your $10, you can go up to 50 to $100 if you really don't bother turning your aircon off. You can easily have $100 a month aircon bill.
Okay.
Okay. And again, people like that soon learn that it's better to turn their aircon off when they go out and stuff. So it just, you know, and that's really in the summertime is the uncomfortable time. A lot of people in the winter, I don't use my aircon in my house during the winter. I do use it for sleeping during the summer, but in the winter, we don't even need it on.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Okay.
a household, even a household electric bill comes down to $30.
All right, great. And how about cell phone? How much you pay for cell per month?
$10 a month with internet.
10,
There
10 a
it's
month.
yeah.
Okay.
Um, and they give you many free calls with that and stuff like that. And you can get an internet connection telephone connection so easy when you arrive at the airport or just pop to a 7-Eleven. Life is very easy here. People don't realize.
Now, is it, in your opinion, for people that are considering moving to Thailand, in your opinion, is it better to purchase or is it better to rent? And if you're going to purchase, what are the going rates for these condos in Chiang Mai right now?
I always look, Chiang Mai is not for everybody. Okay. Some people just turn around and say Chiang Mai is boring. Chiang Mai is this, Chiang Mai is that. That's fine. Chiang Mai is not for everybody.
Yeah.
So I always advise renting first. Okay. Get to know the area, get to know where you're comfortable. Because again, when you're renting, you can do a 6-month contract and move around town, try different
Hmm.
areas, get right in the heart of Neiman, and then realize it's too noisy, it's too busy. Let's get over the other side where it's just more chilled and relaxed, or get out by the mountains where you're very comfortable. And, in a year's time, you might have a motorbike and you don't need to live in the town. So
Hmm.
people's experiences and their feelings on Chiang Mai vary considerably. So I would always say rent first.
Okay.
Okay. I would love for everybody to turn up and just buy, obviously, but I do recommend renting. But what happens to a lot of people is they're going, oh, I'm going to rent first and then buy. And then they actually forget to make the move, and
Hmm.
they get caught up in their rental agreement, and not in a bad way. It's just, oh, it's just too easy. I'm just getting by here. I'm happy renting rather than buying.
Hmm.
But you can buy here for as low as, we go back to that 5,000 baht a month, sorry, $140 a month condo, you can buy that for under 20,000 US dollars.
Okay. So how about a condo with the amenities, with a gym, with a pool? What are we looking at in cost for
I'm
that?
just doing my currency converter on the side. Uh, you know, you're around about, for a decent one, you're around about 50,000 US up. That's your starting point, and those kind of prices. That's an older building, but decent building, not a dive, an older one. Um, and you just literally, it's decent size. You might need to put a good paint in. You might need to change the kitchen out, change the
Mhm.
bathroom. You might need some renovation, but that's your starting point.
Okay.
Okay. Because nowadays they can build they can make a 30 square meter a one bedroom,
Hmm.
or the old days a 50 square meter was a studio.
Hmm.
So it's all about the pricing, all about the building, and all about the location.
Okay.
Okay. So, but starting points, I would say that's a good starting point. You can get cheaper, obviously,
Sure.
um, but let's say roughly around there for something someone's going to be comfortable in.
Okay. And do most retirees and expats that are actually purchasing over there, do they pay cash for those?
You have to.
Got to pay cash. Okay.
You have to pay cash. There's no mortgage options available to non-ties.
So how
It's
much would
cash.
they have to pay per year with insurance or tax per year after they pay cash?
Your government taxes are around about, how much do you pay there for government taxes? Let's put it this way. About $30 a year I pay on a three-bedroom, three-bathroom house.
Wow. Okay. So
Okay.
that's it. There's no monthly fees that you pay
Yes,
to.
you've got in a condo, you'll have your common area fees, which pays for the security, reception, and the cleaning of the buildings. And that would be around, in a unit like that, around $20 a month.
Wow.
It can go up. Obviously, I'm starting at starting points.
Yeah.
And the lowest one is $10 a month, but there's not much going on. There's no pool or anything like
So
that.
for the retirees that really have a small pension, but they have a little bit of a nest egg to purchase something, you could virtually live for nothing if you bought one of those condos.
Easily, rent is often the biggest fixed outlay every month. So if
Yeah.
someone comes in, and this is what people do after that initial period, some people straight off the bat, they put their money into it. Because again, even if they sold that same condo at the cost that they paid for it and just got their money out in 3 years, they've saved money.
Yeah. Wow. Now, my next
So
question is if you do purchase, are they easy to sell? Let's say you're there 3 years. No, I want to go live somewhere else. I want to get out. Can you sell them pretty easily?
generally speaking, in this kind of market, this kind of price range, they sell.
Okay.
Okay. Don't buy too far out of town because then you get away from the location where people are looking. At the lower price points, there's a high demand at all times. Okay.
Okay.
What we don't see here is huge capital gains. Okay.
Mhm.
It's a steady market. Um, it's not a Singaporean market. It's not it doesn't jump straight up and people flipping condos all over the place. It's not like that. It's steady, which is good.
Why is
Okay.
that though? I'm curious to know because I noticed that around the world, even Europe, there's many places, South America, that just very consistent. They don't go up in value. And places in the US, they jump dramatically, like Canada. People can buy something for 200,000 and sell it 3 years later for 800,000. Why
Yeah.
isn't that happening in places like Thailand, in your opinion?
Yeah, well, again, somewhere like Phuket's just seen a boom. Okay, the prices in there have just gone silly, and that's driven by the Russian money coming in recently and stuff like that. They're in the news. But Chiang Mai, Thais don't move the same way we do. We don't. We move for schools. We move for work. We buy another place. We move. We have to be in a certain postcode in the UK to go to schools. So there's always a constant flow of people selling. Here, they'll just drive further. Also, a
Mm,
lot of places around Chiang Mai, for example, there's a lot of land. So they'll
mm,
just build more.
mm.
Okay.
Okay.
Thais in the past also had a fear of buying secondhand, fear of ghosts and so on,
Mhm.
buying in old buildings they were
Interesting.
always wearing. But nowadays that's changed because of the cost of new builds are stacked up, that the
Yeah.
Thais will go into the resale units as well. But
Okay.
a lot of the Chinese won't buy condos generally in old buildings because they do have a fear of ghosts.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. All right. Well, great. That's great information. Let's dive into the rest of these things here to give the viewers an idea what the cost is. So groceries have gone up significantly. What are groceries, would you say, per month for a single person that they'd spend in Chiang Mai or Thailand?
Well, again, generally speaking, a single person here, stop buying groceries. Go out for dinner. Go
Yeah.
out for lunch. It's cheaper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
A lot of people just it really is. Okay. Unless you really want to cook or anything like that, a single person is generally out. Okay. Maybe breakfast indoors, toast and jam, or whatever you
Yeah.
want. You can cook in your little condo. But it's more, honestly, it's more expensive to go down and buy groceries than it is to cook at home. Sorry, than it is to go out. When you
Okay.
consider you can go out and as long as you like Thai food, and if someone doesn't like Thai food, I'm sorry, your cost of living's just gone skyrocketed. Um, but as long as you love the food here, which most people do, I know
Yeah.
very few people that survive in Thailand not liking the food. Um, you go up the road and you've got a decent meal on rice. We always say it's on rice, decent meal for $2.
Yeah.
That's 60 baht, that's $2, and that's it. No washing up, nothing to deal with. You can have your beer with that, you can have a Coke, or you can have free water. You can literally eat and drink just the free water, which is always safe, for your $2.
Wow.
Why cook? It gets you out of your room, it gets you socializing in the local environment. It's good for the economy and everything like that.
Yeah.
Um, I go out with my family, and there can be 5 or 6 of us, and we can eat at a local Thai food place and decent, plenty of food on the table. No one's starving for $20. That's six
Wow.
people.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's so
You're,
amazing. How much is a
yeah.
beer out there if you get a beer with your meal?
Okay, beer is the biggest problem here because once you start drinking, it was my biggest cost. I gave up a few years ago. So if I get it wrong on the beer front, I might be a little bit out of date. So if anyone else is watching, I do apologize. But you can get your beers, your small bottles of beer, probably for again $2 in a little restaurant like that. A big bottle for $4 or something like that in a
Okay.
restaurant. Bit cheaper at the 7-Eleven, take them home. Cans are probably $1 a can or something like that from the
Hmm.
7-Eleven. Um, but your sodas, 20 cents, 50
Hmm.
cents maybe in certain posh little locations. But remember, when we talk about food, once you go down pizza, burgers, we all crave them from time to time. That's when you've suddenly got back into similar price ranges as back home in certain locations.
Sure.
So, there is a big difference between, you know, enjoying the local food and the local area than going down the burger restaurant that's catering directly for foreigners living in Chiang Mai and stuff like that. For me, that's once a month, go and have my burger hit or my pizza hit, something like that. But I just don't enjoy it. I enjoy the Thai food.
Yeah, sure.
There's so many choices on Thai food. There's so many Japanese restaurants. It's crazy the amount of Japanese restaurants in this town. And
Hmm.
really, it's just, sushi on rice or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, and it's just so much choice. Stop
Hmm.
cooking at home.
Well, if you had to put a number on it for people that go grocery shopping per month, what do you think they're going to spend budget wise over there?
Um, it's like I said, it's a real tough call because it depends on what they are cooking for. But you could be, if you're just getting your staples and stuff like that, you're possibly in your 1 to 200 US dollars a month.
Okay.
That's a guesstimation because
Sure.
everybody is different on what they take home. And if you really are after the home comforts, cheese is expensive here.
Yeah.
Um, there's certain items that, people crave and they are expensive. They are here now, but they do certainly add up.
Now, as far as restaurants, what do you budget per month on restaurants? If you can get $2 meals, sounds like
Believe believe me, people start eating more and more. So you had your $2 meal, and then I'll
yeah,
try that one.
I
Uh,
imagine.
But again, let's say, I generally my lunch would cost me 100 baht, which is probably closer to $3 with my drink and
Hmm.
something on the side or something like that. And if I was eating out, I can eat for, I can eat for $2. But let's be honest, let's say it's could be up to, $6 or $7 per
Hmm.
person
Hmm.
per evening meal or something like that, because you are going to have your extra drinks, you are going to have a little bit more and stuff like that.
Sure.
So, it's that's what can add up, but it's only the extras you put in.
Hmm.
Okay. So, the total numbers on that, I'm afraid you'll have to do the rough maths on that one because again, it's tough to say what people will spend.
Sure.
Okay. And some people spend less.
And it depends on how many times they go out per week.
Yeah, believe me, most people go out most days.
Yeah.
Staying in, staying in is the weird one.
All right. So let's dive into what do people do for fun in Chiang Mai? What do they do for entertainment fun?
One thing about Chiang Mai is, so a lot of the retirees come here and they get younger.
Hmm.
Okay, they just do.
I'm move
Okay,
I'm moving out there, man. I'm ready.
they do because it's a new lease of life,
Yes.
and they
I,
don't want to be stuck in a room. Anyone's got the adventure on them. They're ready to get on with a new life. And
yes.
you see people here, you would never recognize them back home once they put their cardigan on and they suddenly get old again, sat there, can't go out because it's too cold. The arthritis is kicking in, retirement's not much fun. Here, they're suddenly out. There's suddenly a new social life. There
Hmm.
are lots and lots of different social clubs here. Okay. Everything from bridge clubs to triathlon clubs. Okay. There's people doing there's loads of hill walking. We're surrounded by nature. A big part of social life here evolves around eating. We come back to the food. A big part of social life here evolves around meeting people down the coffee shops.
Hmm.
Okay. But there's, you name it, there's pickleball clubs, there's frisbee golf, there's a lot of people playing golf. We've got world-class golf courses. Another big one that people tend to do here, they do tend to learn Thai because then it's another visa option. But people are trying to get their brains working, and it's another social part. So they go down
Hmm.
and sign up for a school to learn Thai. Um, you have to be busy,
Hmm.
okay? You
Hmm.
don't want to well, unless you really want to. You don't want to just be someone that hits the bars every night. This is
Sure.
not the place for that.
Yeah.
Um, there's expat clubs for basically all nationalities. But there's so many social scenes here as long as you get up and go looking for them and get active and get positive.
Yeah.
Okay. There's dance clubs, ballroom dancing, not ballroom, Latin dancing and stuff like that. You name it, there's live music, bands playing constantly. Um, it's just happening. It's a
Yeah.
strange
It's a
one.
great
Uh,
place.
it is.
It's a great
Okay.
place. If you had to put a number on those activities per month, I mean, for people that want to really, actively get involved in these activities, do they cost, and how much would you need to budget per month to participate in
Go
those?
bike riding, you've got a budget for your coffees and your lunch. You go join pickleball, it's $2 or $3 as a whip round to put in to pay for the court. Bridge club, it's possibly a whip round. I must admit, I've never been to the bridge club. You go to the Chiang Mai expat club to meet people. It's $3. They have a Friday lunch. I think that's $5 for an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Mm.
You know, everything like that is generally cheap,
Yeah. Okay.
but if you're budgeting $50 or $60 a month for your clubs, you know, golf can be expensive. Golf can
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
20, but we're talking expensive as in $20 a round. That's
Mhm.
including your caddy and maybe a buggy or whatever, and
Hmm.
then you need to tip them. So it might be $30 for a game of golf.
Yeah.
But in comparison to somewhere else in the world, that's nothing.
Sure. Yeah.
So at least you can afford to do that once or twice a month, um in that kind of environment or world-class environment, and you're just out and about in yeah, summertime, go early to golf. Don't go in midday. You won't last 5 minutes in the midday heat here playing golf. But
Yeah.
there's so many activities that you shouldn't be bored.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that, Simon. So the last thing we have is transport. How do people get around?
Grab.
Grab.
We have Grab. Yes, we are. Okay, yeah. Let's start from the beginning. When people arrive, they're in town, and the first thing they do is get on their feet and start wandering around. But obviously, very quickly, you want to go a bit further. You want to go and meet people. You want to go to get to these sports clubs or whatever's going on. In due course, many people buy a motorbike. The roads, get your driver's license here and everything like that. And that's very affordable. Again, petrol costs here are very, very low. To fill up your motorbike is probably $10. And that'll get you around for a week easily. And that's moving around. And there's still the value the same as the cars. But we have Grab here. And Grab from in one side of the town, depending on the day, within the town from, so say, Chiang Mai, which is on one side, across to the other, could be $3, $4.
Okay.
Okay. And that's very easy. The public transport, like the red taxis, Westerners tend to avoid them because they tend to take you all over the town before you get there. It might
Mhm.
only be $1 for a ride, but you've gone all around the town, you've gone wherever they wanted, before you get to where you're going. All
Mhm.
right. So you could be looking straight down a straight road, and they actually do a U-turn at the first U-turn, go off around the back roads, and half an hour, 45 minutes, you get to where you started, but it's still only $1. Okay.
Mhm.
So people tend to use Grab a lot more now. There is another one called Bolt. I don't know if you have that one.
Yeah.
But Grab and Bolt are very good and very easy to use for buzzing around town to wherever you
Okay.
want to get to, the shopping and everything like that.
Okay. And I'm guessing that most people that move to Chiang Mai, they're living in areas where they can pretty much walk to where they need to get to. So what would you say they pay per month when they do need transportation? What would you say most people budget per month?
Again, if you looked at that kind of level of spending, most of these people are not going all over the town every day.
Sure.
Um, but if you are spending, because once you get there, you do generally have to get back your $3 and then return $3 or $4 return, $10 a time. You can easily, 20 or $30 a week on that.
Okay.
So you've got to allow your $100 if you're buzzing around easily. So hence
Okay.
the motorbike becomes the better option quite quickly.
Well, that's everything, Simon. I mean, I guess share how do people find you? So anybody who's interested in moving to Chiang Mai and they want to get in touch with you, we're going to put your link for the YouTube
Yeah.
channel so that they could, but
Make
what's the
make
best
sure
way to
they
get
get my English channel, not my Thai channel. They should see me or see my ugly face all over it straight away. If they don't, they're on my old channel, and they still might find me, but nowhere near as much as lately on the new channel. And that's all in English. Unless they want to learn Thai, then watch the other channel. But we're Perfect Homes. Perfecthomes.co.th is our website.
okay.
And if they email to info at Perfect Homes, I often pick them up or add your comments in a contact way, and we can give as much information as you can. We're looking at more videos soon on information about exactly what you're talking about, the cost of living here. And we are expanding our kind of showing what it's like. I'm trying to take my girls to the gym. I'm trying to get them out on the Pilates course. I want to take one of them to golf. I want to do all of these things to show people about the lifestyle here in Chiang Mai. So we are expanding that channel, and we are hoping it just keeps on growing, obviously. But I love Chiang Mai, so I'm very happy to show it off. I have great fun working with my team. So it's a great fun for me to do these videos.
All right. Well, Simon Bradshaw, thank you so much for your time and taking the time to share all this information and tips on Chiang Mai today. I really appreciate it.
You're more than welcome. Thank you very much indeed for reaching out and getting in touch. It's great to meet you, and I'm sure we'll be talking again soon.